Live on your end, we're live.
Okay, good evening. Welcome everybody to the Law Committee meeting. Thank you for being here. I'd like to start if Majority Counsel Kennedy, would you mind taking the roll?
Sure, Madam Chairwoman.
Thank you so much.
Ms. Platsky,
Present.
Cunningham, Bergdorf,
Here.
Feeney,
Here.
Kuhn,
Here.
Mayo,
Here.
Peter,
Here.
Ricard, and Whalen. 6 present, Madam Chairwoman.
Thank you. That's enough. Appreciate you being here. Have you had a chance to look at the minutes of the last meeting?
Madam Chair,
Yes, Mr. Peter.
if there are no objections, I'd like to make a motion to approve those minutes.
Sure.
I'd like
Second.
to second that motion.
Thanks, Mr. Kuhn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you so much. Passes unanimously. Item number 2 is local law A. This is being tabled at the request of sponsor. Item 3, local law D. This is being tabled pending a public hearing. Moving right along. Item number. Yes, Mr. Green.
We can't move after the, okay, I get you.
Oh, sorry. Yep.
Okay, thanks.
Item number 4, concerning the county executive's agreement with the New York State Department of Transportation. This is being tabled at the request of the sponsor. Item number 5 is a public hearing for local law F. This is to provide the pesticide application signs made available at point of sale be available in multiple languages as required by Environmental Conservation Law, Section 33-1005. This is going to a public hearing. Yes, Mr. Feeney.
I'll move it.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second, Madam Chair.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No. Thank you very much. Passes
Thank
unanimously.
you, Madam Chairman. Thank you.
Sure. On to the public hearing. All right. Item 6, public hearing on local law D, the restaurant protection law in relation to third-party delivery services. This is also pending a public hearing.
I'll move it, Madam Chair, for a public
Thank you,
hearing.
Mr. Bergdorf. Is
I
there a
would
second?
second that, Madam Chair.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Peter. I guess you hopped in first. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No. Thank
Madam
you.
Chair,
Yes.
Madam Chair, it's Bill Rickard. I just wanted to let you know I'm present for the meeting.
Oh, great. Thank you, Mr. Ricard. Nice to see you.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay. Item 7, local law F. Did I do this backwards?
No, you did it
Yeah,
right.
table pending a public hearing.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now on to business at hand. We have Judge Herrick here on item number 8, amending resolution 470 for 2019 regarding the aid to defense program. Judge Herrick, would you like to say a few words?
This is a retroactive request to accept an additional $21,000 for aid to defense. It supplements the incomes of 4 members of the staff that were previously covered by the original grant. They extended the grant in time slightly to the end of March, so it's retroactive.
Thank
It's
you.
no cost to the county.
Very important. Good, thank
Yes.
you. Are there any questions for Judge Herrick?
Quick question, Madam Chair.
Yes, Mr. Bergdorf.
Judge, is this an extension of their existing salaries because of an extension of the contract?
Yes, sir.
So there's no change in salary?
No change in their salary that wasn't approved by you for the 2021 budget.
Thank you very much for clarifying that. I appreciate it.
Yes, Mr.
I'd be willing to move it if there are no further questions.
Second.
Okay, motion by Mr. Bergdorf, second by Mr. Feeney. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No. Thank you. Passes unanimously. Thank you, Judge Herrick. Have a nice evening.
Oh, I have another matter.
Oh, great. Cool. Welcome to stay on. Okay, item 8. Item 9. authorize an agreement with the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services regarding reimbursement for Raise the Age implementation. Mr. Connors, I believe, would you like to speak on this one?
Good evening. Thank you for allowing me to appear. This is our second grant. The first grant was for 2 years. This period is from April 1st, 2020 through March 31st. It's actually renewal. It 100% funding for staffing and programs related to all Raise the Age activities, which was enacted in 2018 for 16 to 17-year-olds, removing them from adult courts into adolescent offender court.
Very good. Are there questions from Mr. Connors? Yes, Mr. Feeney.
I'll move it.
Thank you. Is there a second?
A second.
Thank you, Mr. Mayo. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any
Aye.
opposed? No, thank you. Passes unanimously. Thank you,
Thank you.
Mr. Connors.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right. On to item 10, authorizing an agreement with New York State Office for the Prevention of Domestic Violence. And Karen Ziegler is here this evening.
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you everyone for your time. I appreciate it. We were given the opportunity to accept $40,000 from the Office of the Prevention of Domestic Violence. It's a one-time grant, and it's money that has been made available to the sexual assault programs in New York State. We would like to take our $40,000 and use some of that money to upgrade the off-site site location that we've been given by the county to make it ADA compliant. We'd like to buy, invest in some technology, laptops, routers, printers, to be able to really be incredibly flexible working in the courts, at the off-site location, or remotely if we ever need to do that again. And the last piece would be to buy some office furniture for the new off-site location. It's going to be a beautiful setting. We're really looking forward to it because it's going to have a parking lot. So those folks who are from around the county where it's difficult to come into the city and find parking, they'll be able to get services there in a much more comfortable, I think, familiar way. So hill towns and the outlying areas of the county can benefit more from our services.
Thank you. Are there any questions from Ms. Ziegler?
Ma-
Yes, Mr. Berger.
Madam Chair, Karen,
Yes.
where is this site?
I think I'm supposed to keep it quiet.
Yeah, we can certainly talk offline, but I think the idea is that it's not overly publicized.
For safety and security.
Due to the
purposes,
nature of
that's
the,
fine.
yeah.
Excuse me, I understand. I was just wondering, I'm amazed that you could do everything that you suggested that you're going to do on a $40,000 budget. So congratulations.
Thank you. I think there's going to be, we're very excited about the entire project. And I have one more ask, and I apologize. I think this is the third time this year I'm asking, but this grant starts June 1st. And I would ask, is there any way, once it becomes available in Grants Gateway, for the county executive to sign off on it? And I apologize. I recognize that I keep asking that before the full ledge can meet and consider this, but the money's been coming kind of fast and furious. And since I have to spend it, excuse me, by the end of September, and given, what we understand about technology, the chips, and sometimes the delays with technology, if it would be possible to have this signed with the permission of law committee, even before the full ledge can meet on it, I would appreciate it so much. It just gives us that extra time to be able to fully benefit from the money.
And Karen, you can follow up with my office on that.
Great. Thank you so much,
Okay,
Becca.
thank you very much. May I have a motion on the grant, please?
Motion.
Thank you, Mr. Feeney.
Second.
Second?
Second.
I heard a second. I'm not okay.
Bill Workhart.
Thank you, Mr. Ricard. Second by Mr. Feeney. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Ziegler, for being here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Take care.
You too.
Item 11, authorizing the submission of a grant application to the New York State Office of Indigent Legal Services regarding the second Upstate Model Family Representation Office grant. I believe we have Patrick Alderson here to speak on this.
Excuse me, good evening, Madam
Chairwoman and committee members. The Judge Herrick could also speak on this as well if I forget anything. But this is a request on behalf of the Public Defender's Office, the Conflict Defender's Office, as well as the Assigned Counsel Program to apply for a grant, or the second iteration of a grant from the New York State Office of Indigent and Legal Services for an upstate family representation office. This would be a demonstration project that would seek to create a standalone, holistic, interdisciplinary parental law office to provide parental representation, as well as kind of wraparound social support services through case managers, parental advocates, etc., throughout all phases of a child protective services matter.
Thank you. Judge Herrick, would you like to add anything?
A little, yes. This is a retroactive request because we filed responded to the RFP at 4:30 p.m. on Monday. The deadline was 5 p.m. on the 24th, and we have filed it. This is a very unique approach. As Patrick indicated, it's an interdisciplinary approach with a freestanding unit housed in family court that would attempt to identify the first or a very early point of contact between child protective, children and family services, and a parent or guardian that is being investigated, to provide in part legal services as early as possible to those individuals that are being investigated, but much more importantly, with the social workers and parent advocates to identify the issue that caused the investigation to occur and to resolve the issue, protect the family, and hopefully prevent the removal or long-term removal of a child from the family unit. The intent is to protect the family unit and to reduce caseload in the family court. And the last time I appeared, Mr. Bergdorf asked me a question about whether we were applying for any additional grants in the near future. And Paul, this is the grant that we're preparing to apply for.
That's what I was just going to ask you. Now, is this just for Albany County residents, or does it fall under the umbrella of our programs that sort of mentor a number of counties in the region?
It's Albany County, and it's a 3-year grant. $2.6 million over 3 years is what we're applying for. $870,000 a year, and it would be limited to Albany County.
Thank you very much, Judge.
Are there other questions, Mr. Alderson or Judge Herrick?
You're muted.
Sorry. Thanks, Mr. Feeney. Are you moving?
I'll move it.
Thank you. And a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Mayo. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No. Great. Thank you very much, Judge Herrick
thank
and
you.
Mr. Alderson. All right. This brings us to item 12, and we need to enter executive session.
Madam
So,
Chair,
yes.
I have a little experience with this. I'd like to make a motion that we go into executive session to discuss potential litigation against the county.
Second.
Is there a second? Thank you, Mr. Feeney. All in favor of going into executive session?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No, thank you. Motion passes, and we will enter executive session. People who may remain on the line are the legislative staff, the executive staff who are presenting on this item, and the legislators. Who
So I'm gonna
else do we
start.
have left online here?
John Ligori and Michael Goldstein from the County Attorney's Office will be
Great,
presenting.
thank you, Mr. Ligori. Mr. Goldstein.
Once